Hi everybody, Sean Woodland inside the CrossFit Update studio, being joined by a woman who is getting set for her 6th trip to regionals. Last year, she was a member of the NorCal CrossFit team that went to the CrossFit Games. She's back in individual competition this year, and she is the owner of one of the most adorable French bulldogs you're ever gonna meet. She is Molly Vollmer, and she joins me live now via Skype. Molly, thank you so much for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You finished 10th in Northern California in the Open. What has been going right for you so far this season?
Yeah, I've been working with Sam Briggs since September. We did a trip out in Hawaii, and I was talking about how I was going to go back to individual. And when I got back from the trip, she just sent me a text message and said, I'd like to help you prepare for regional. So ever since then, she's just sent me workouts on a daily basis. And she's been a great mentor to me as well as a coach. I'll have a good person to compare times to. A lot of the times I feel terrible about myself when I compare my times to her. But that's the biggest change I made this year, is just working with her.
What's the biggest thing that you've learned from working with Sam Briggs?
Oh, gosh. I would say Sam's just really good about, taking the workouts as they come, and each day is different, I'll have workouts where, you feel great and you crush it and you walk away and you're like, oh, that was awesome. And then workouts where everything's, you're sore, your time's super slow, your movements that you're usually good at don't feel that great that day. And she's just really good about just reminding me to kind of like put the work in and move on to the next thing, and also keep training fun. She always is encouraging me to try to get together with as many people as I can.
So you've now gone from working out with one raging psychopath in Jason Kalipa to another in Sam Briggs. Everyone's got a great story who's worked with Jason about his workouts and the stuff that he programs. Do you have a good story about Jason?
Yeah, there's a lot. Jason he's a great guy. He's awesome. He's hilarious. The way I always talk about Jason is we all have a natural filter that occurs, right? You think something in your mind, and then there's a filtration process that occurs before you actually say the words that come out of your mouth. But that doesn't happen with Jason. Things just come right out. So he'll be watching you do something, and you'll PR, and he'll say something like, oh, that's good, but like, what's so-and-so's 1 rep max? A good training story is, we came in one day and he's like, all right, here's what we're going to do. This is like back in the NC lab days. And he's like, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm thinking we're going to do Filthy 50. And then at the 20-minute mark, we're going to hit Fight Gone Bad. And then after Fight Gone Bad, we're immediately going to go into 30 snatches for time where the weight goes up. Women's weight was 125. And then I think it went 145, 155, something ridiculous. But that's a normal training session with Jason.
Yeah, that's incredible. You were able to experience the games last year as a member of the NorCal CrossFit team. What did that whole experience teach you?
That experience was amazing. I got to, the group of individuals that I was on the team with, we had trained together for several years. So being together with my friends was the best. Going to the games, and you're surrounded by the best in the sport. So just that experience in its own, putting yourself out there and getting, crushed, kind of definitely made me, better as an athlete and better in this sport.
We all know what happened to Miranda with that knee injury that she suffered that took you guys out of contention. What do you think when you look back and recall what happened last season in Carson?
It was heartbreaking. The hardest thing for me was, I was out on the floor. I had done my clean and jerk, and, she was doing her clean and jerk, and she dropped the bar and looked at me and said, my knee popped. And, the look on her face, and as her best friend, just that feeling of just like, oh shit, what just happened? So you have that emotion of her friend, you just got injured. And then also as her teammate, like, we're not going to be able to move on now. So it was pretty devastating, to be in the position that we were at the games, to be doing so well, and, to not be able to continue on with, all 6 of us. We did what we could, and we still had a great finish. But it was pretty heartbreaking. a lot of time and effort went into that weekend, and it was pretty devastating we couldn't finish. But that's okay. You live and you learn and you move on.
You're back at individual competition this year, as we said before, 10th in the NorCal region as you head into the California Regional, which has always been really competitive for women. Why do you think you have what it takes to finish in the top 5 and go back to the games?
I've put in the work just like everyone else. I've tried to make myself a more well-rounded athlete. I've always been very strength biased. So Sam's been helping me a lot with my gymnastics work. So I've just been trying to kind of hone in on all those weaknesses and fill those in and just come back a stronger, faster, and more well-rounded athlete. And, I just hope the events go in my favor and I'm able to kind of perform to my best. And hopefully at the end of the weekend, I'm standing on that podium.
The last time we saw you as an individual at regionals, it was 2014. You suffered that broken foot. How has that experience motivated you now as you pursue individual accomplishments in 2016?
Yeah, that experience was pretty heartbreaking. We all put a lot of effort into regionals, and to not be able to finish the weekend was the worst part. Especially the 50s, the workout that I was looking forward to so much. But it did just make me value the ability to be able to work out and the ability to be able to compete. I'm very fortunate to be out there. So when that was kind of taken away from me, I think that it just gave me more fuel for my fire to kind of come back stronger and faster and ready for the next season.
Finally, what needs to happen for you in 2016 for you to be able to look back on this year and say, you know what, that was a successful season?
Oh gosh. I think if I can go out on regionals weekend, hit every event, execute my game plan as best as I can, take each event as it comes and just move on to the next one and just be happy with what I've done, all the, trust the hard work that I put in leading up to this and just be happy with what I do that weekend and how I perform and enjoy every minute of it. I mean, we don't know how long we're going to be able to compete for. Who knows what's going to happen in 2017. So I think if I just go out there and enjoy myself and remember to smile and soak it all up, I think that'll be a successful season for me.
Well, Molly, we wish you the best of luck competing at the California Regional. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Molly Vollmer trying to make it back to the CrossFit Games for the second straight year. Last year she was on a team. This year trying to go individual.